Shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone of well, and salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word, truth, and in sincerity. This is Ira from Great Millstone, Wisconsin, coming at you with another lesson, and I wanted to speak according to the UAPs, the unidentified aerial phenomenon, or the unidentified flying objects, as people know as UFOs, flying saucers. Some people call them aliens, which we know them to be the chariots of the Most High. They are the intergalactic, interdimensional vehicles that are going to deliver Israel from captivity out of all nations. And you're seeing these UFOs, these angels, these chariots, these vehicles popping up all over the place, especially around the American government. We're seeing declassified videos of the government trying to shoot these vehicles down. We're seeing video footage of the chariots flying next to aircraft carriers and evading capture and evading high-speed bullets and things of that nature, even in outer space. And that's how we know, that's another sign that we know that our salvation is near. This place doesn't have much time left, because the scriptures speak about the chariots being a curse, to the thief and to the liar, and who's the thief and who's the liar, Esau, Edom, So without further ado, I'm going to hop right into it. It's Zechariah 5:1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, and I see a flying roll." Which the flying roll, that's another word for chariot, man. Flying rolls, flying scrolls, flying saucers, these are all words that are used to describe the chariots of Israel. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. So Zechariah was describing the dimensions of the chariot. Verse 3, it says, "Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth." So those vehicles there, now Esau has a right to be scared of these things. He's correct to be afraid of these things, because to him it's a curse, but to us it's salvation, So yeah, he has a right to be afraid of these things. That's why he created something called the Space Force, which has actually been in the works since the since the late 90s, but fully came to fruition under DJ Trump, in what, 2017, 2018, I think it was, so they're correct to be afraid of these vehicles, man, but the thing is that they're so arrogant. They think that these vehicles can be shot down. They think they can actually win against these chariots of Israel, man. Hence the movie like Independence Day, or War of the Worlds, They actually think that they have a fighting chance. But this says, "This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it." And who stole? Esau, Edom, and the other nations, man. They stole us, the nation of Israel, from our respective land, our respective lands where we were dwelling, and sold us for merchandise, and still have us in captivity to this day. It says, "And on this side according to it. And every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it." And who swears? Especially by the scriptures, man, by the holy Bible. Esau, man. Esau, Edom. Verse 4, it says, "I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief." And we know who the thief is, man. The thief is Esau, Edom, man. He's the only one on this planet that goes forth over the whole world and pillages and robs resources, man, that other nations have, and puts sanctions on those lands and on those nations, and and claims things for themselves. Habakkuk chapter 2 says he has as death. He is hell and is as death, and he can never be satisfied. So the house of the thief is talking about America, man. And anywhere that Esau, Edom dwells, man. and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, which again, Esau, Edom. This is God-fearing country, and God we trust, and it shall remain in the midst of of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So it's going to stay inside of this house, and it's going to destroy it, man. The chariots are going to destroy this place along with the thermonuclear fire, and that's prophecy. We didn't say it. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said it. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. And another proof that the Lord is going to use the chariots of Israel, is Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. This shows you that the Lord, Yahweh Shai, is going to also come in one of those intergalactic vehicles, man, in his angelic form. This is Revelation 1 and 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Now, when you look at the word cloud is synonymous out all throughout the scriptures with a chariot or a UFO, because why would the Lord come with, ordinary vapor clouds? What is he going to administer a thunderstorm? No. Those clouds are chariots of the Lord, man. Matter of fact, when you go into the Spanish word for cloud, it's nube, N-U-B-E, with an accent mark, and it not only does it mean cloud, it means spaceship. It says, and every eye shall see him. And how shall every eye see him? It's going to be televised, on the World Wide Web, the internet, And plus, the chariots are going to be huge. It's going to be so huge that everyone can't help but see them. They're going to be all over the TV, all over monitors, CCTV cameras, Might be all over social media, if the internet isn't cut by then, And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. They're going to be in mourning, because right then at that point, they're going to know this is the Son of God. And he's here, and he's here on business, man. Yahweh Shai isn't going to come, he's not going to come to talk. Talking's over with. He came to talk before, and he was murdered, So this time he's coming to destroy. This is Nahum chapter 2, verse 3. It says, the shield of his mighty men is made red. The valiant men are in scarlet. Now this is talking about the angels, man. It says, the chariots shall be with flaming torches in the day of his preparation. And the fir tree shall be terribly shaken, So the chariots shall be with flaming torches, meaning those flaming torches are the laser beams, man. Concentrated fire, concentrated heat, concentrated or super, how do you say, supernova light particles, man. It says, in the day of his preparation, and the fir tree shall be terribly shaken. Now, another word for fir trees are the other nations, man, because the other nations are looked at or represented with trees when you go into Genesis, when you go into Isaiah, when you go into the book of Ezekiel. The other nations are represented as trees, man. So the trees will be terribly shaken, meaning afraid. Other nations are going to be afraid when this phenomenon happens, man. It says, the chariot shall rage in the streets. They shall jostle one against another in the broad ways. Now, what reminds me of the scene is, I believe, the very first Avengers movie, when Loki brought his space fleet down from space out of the firmament, and they were raging in the streets of New York, man, and they were jostling against one another, and they were fighting, it's like they were playing a game, fighting for how many humans they can destroy first, man, That's what the chariots are going to be doing. It says, they shall jostle one against another in the broad ways. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like the lightnings, meaning they're going to be exceptionally, unbelievably fast, man. Breaking the sound barrier and everything, This is what America and the rest of the world has to look forward to, man. So these intergalactic vehicles that you see every day, known as UFOs or UAPs, as Britain has coined the new phrase, are vehicles that symbolize destruction, for Esau, Edom, and other nations, and also salvation for Israel, man. Matthew chapter 24, verse 27, it says, Slakia. It says, now remember, Nahum 3 just said there shall be as lightnings, right? Verse 20, Matthew 24, verse 27. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. You know, going back to Revelation 1 and 7 also, man. He cometh with clouds, you know. And those clouds or those spaceships, those chariots are going to be like lightning. Verse 28 says, for wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Meaning wherever Israel is on the face of this planet, the eagles, which are the chariots, are going to swoop down and deliver us. Verse 29 says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. You know, Salakia. And the moon shall not give her light. You know, meaning the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is going to be gone, man. You know, they're not going to know what to do. It says, and the stars shall fall from heaven. So simultaneously, as the chariots are here, beaming Israel up, you know, you're going to have the stars fall from heaven, which the stars represent the thermonuclear missiles, man, the destruction. Because those warheads are going to be like shooting stars, man, falling from the firmament. It says, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken, meaning the powers of this current world, man. The elites, they're going to be terribly afraid. Verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. You know, so we're going to see Yahweh. They're going to see Yahweh Shai. There's no doubt about it. Verse 31, it says, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. You know, and that's Israel's deliverance, man. It's point blank simple, period. You know, the Lord is only going to be here for two reasons, for destruction and deliverance, man. And they're not going to know what to do when they see these so-called blacks, these spooks, these spicks, these wetbacks, these tomahawks be delivered, you know, be beamed up by these intergalactic vehicles known as the chariots of Israel, man. They're not going to know what to think. You know, it's going to be strange. This is Wisdom Solomon 5:1. So then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. And that's what the prophets of the Lord are doing right now, man. Standing in great boldness before our captives, man, or our captors, you know, and made no account of his labors, because they don't make any account of Israel's labor, man. You know, we built up this first heaven, you know, with nothing but our blood, sweat, and tears, man, and our shame and our sins, you know. But they make no account of that. They make it seem as if they did everything, you know. And we were just along for the ride. We were just there. All we did was pick cotton. We didn't build anything. We didn't engineer anything. We didn't innovate anything. You know, we were just on a plantation the whole time, you know. But even to this day, we're the ones that are building this society. Verse 2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. See what? The chariots of Israel, man. The unidentified flying objects or unidentified aerial phenomenon. It says, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. You know, so it's going to be strange. They're going to be amazed, like, oh man, these people who we've had in derision, these people that we've destroyed and raped and robbed and pillaged, and, you know, so far beyond all that they looked for, right? Because they didn't look to the end that we would be saved from their clutches, you know. They were looking for us to be in their hand forever, man. Verse 3, it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Right. So they had us in derision. They had us trodden underfoot. You know, they made fun of us. They slapped us with proverbs and bywords, and they shamed us, you know, and they beat us, and they oppressed us, man. It says, this was he whom we sometimes had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools account his life madness and his end to be without honor. You know, they thought we were going to die with our lives just being meaningless, man. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints. you know. So I'm like, damn, how are they among the saints? Reason being is because they spent millions and billions and trillions of dollars trying to hide the fact of who we are from us, man. You know, hide our power from us. But the thing is that you can't get rid of the Holy Spirit, man. You know. So we are going to be delivered by these vehicles, man. That the other nations, you know, starting with Esau, Edom first, should be afraid of. You know. And we're almost out of here, Akim. We're almost delivered, man. You know, we just gotta keep on going and keep fighting, you know. The end is near, you know. The end of this race is almost here, man. You know, we're looking at the finish line. We just gotta what do you call it? We just gotta push and gear that last sprint, you know. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone as well, and salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.